Hello you guys, welcome to this video special in which we talk about the subject of short barrel weapons in combination with silencers. With us today is Gunnar. Gunnar, greetings.
Hello.
RWS and HAUSKEN have teamed up in order to address a physical problem which many people among us may not have ever considered in the past. We will find out what this is all about after the intro. Short barrel weapons in combination with silencers are very trendy right now, especially within the hunting community, where many now own a silencer. At some point, however, one started to notice that silencers, in combination with normal long barrels, are no longer practical to use. So, consequently, the barrels started to get shorter, and the one realized, crap, now it's finally at a practical length. But there is now a loss of energy of the bullet, because it does not accelerate as much anymore. But now your company comes into play.
We have developed the RWS Short Rifle especially for short barrels. So it's made for shorter barrels, and our goal was to utilize a 50-centimeter barrel with the short rifle loading, but to obtain the same speed and also the same energy out of it as with a 60-centimeter barrel with a normal loading.
Now, I'm genuinely interested. Where did the impulse for this idea come from?
We didn't come up with that one ourselves. It originally came from a specific demand from the hunting community.
Okay.
Because, especially with very short barrels and hard bullets, the speed of the bullet is insufficient, even at normal distances, for it to respond cleanly and safely.
Now, silencers are added to the mix, so the equation becomes even more difficult.
The equation is not only made more difficult, rather this trend, which was already on the market for shorter barrels, was accelerated considerably and abruptly from one day to the next.
Now let's stay with the silencer. It looks like a normal length, but the fact is, it's an over-barrel silencer, which means there is only this tiny bit of the silencer that actually sits in front of the muzzle. Gunnar, tell us something about this. It's really compact, even for a compact silencer.
So this is, I would say, the new subcompact class. We have here the 151 XTRM. We only have 6.7 centimeter weapon extension here. It really is just about the most compact silencer, which one can screw onto a standard caliber currently, and still obtain good silencing performance.
You can literally hear it through the camera. Then tell me, how good is the silencer performance?
We are talking here about at least 25 decibels of silencing power. So we are already in a range where I get below the harmful sound level of 137 decibels for the ear.
You now have a very light weapon in your hand, with a short barrel and an ultra-compact silencer. From whom would this combination be suitable for?
Especially in the mountains, it is pleasantly noticeable when the weapon is not as heavy. But we have already addressed this before. The subject of front heaviness in the weapon. If I have a particularly light weapon and put a heavy silencer onto the front of this weapon, then the weight addition becomes incredibly noticeable, and the weapon becomes very front heavy and just doesn't feel natural or manageable anymore.
You have just mentioned the mountain hunt. I could imagine, as short as it is, it would also be interesting for dog handlers.
Right. Here it is less about the weight, less about the front heaviness, but more about the fact that the silencer only extends the weapon length by 6.7 centimeters, especially when it comes down to the subject of thickets and overgrown areas, where I have to go into as a dog handler. Then the silencer and weapon setup should always be as compact and short as possible.
When I select a silencer, then I am always interested in the choice of material. How are you positioned here?
HAUSKEN builds its silencers from high alloy class aluminum. The silencers are primarily for hunting use, and that is what matters. The silencer must be as compact as possible, easy to put together, and still get the maximum silencer performance out of it. Therefore, aluminum is used.
Okay, interesting. Let's move on to the other end of the equation. We have now learned a lot about the silencer. What about the ammunition, since it's now up to the cartridge to make up for that lack of power?
Correct. The short rifle gets the full energy out of the short barrel.
Okay.
This has the advantage that A, I have the velocity I need to be able to work effectively at all the hunting distances that I have, but B, also have advantages provided by the silencer. I have less muzzle flash. This means less temperature. I have also less gas pressure on the muzzle. That means less mechanical stress. All because we achieved an earlier firing cutoff, so that now there is much less going on at the front of the muzzle.
This means that your cartridge also provides benefits when it comes down to the longevity of the silencer.
Correct. And we achieve this with a more offensive powder, meaning a powder that burns faster. This results, of course, in a massive saving of the silencer's lifespan.
So, you now heard that there is something for every wish. But in which caliber?
308, 3006, 8x57, 93x62, and 300 Win mag.
300 Win mag in combination with short barrels? Not exactly a common thing, but you made it anyway.
The 300 Win mag is not a short barrel cartridge per se, but is often utilized for hunting from 50-centimeter barrel lengths.
Dear people, if you're thinking about using your short barrel weapon in combination with a silencer, especially for hunting, then RWS and HAUSKEN may be your partners of choice, especially now with the new short rifle loads, in order to make up for a possible loss in velocity from the get-go. Gunnar, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for your time spent behind the screens. Please do what you do on YouTube, subscribe to this channel, leave us a comment, click on the bell. I'm already looking forward to the next episode with you, and we'll say goodbye until then. Your Moritz.